Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss this topic called being scientific. All of us have learned science, but have we in our approach become scientific? If I ask you a simple question, how is 1 plus 1 equal to 2? Would you be able to give an answer? Or would you be wondering how it is so? If you have become scientific, you should be knowing the answer. Otherwise, you are just a blind believer of the data or facts given to you as science. The answer is very simple, that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 is a definition which is accepted all over the world. That's the first step. Second step is, under what conditions are these definitions valid? For instance, if I take an example of 2 glasses of water being poured into a big glass of water, it will simply become 1 plus 1 equal to a big 1. So it becomes clear that there are conditions for which 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 will be valid. That is, the integrity of the object being counted should be maintained. So that is why these numbers are called integers. So the integrity of the counted objects has to be clearly maintained. Now let us go a little ahead and understand some of these concepts, so that when we learn science, we will learn it in a more scientific way. All scientific subjects normally start with the definitions. For instance, physics starts with 3 definitions of time, length, and mass. And most definitions normally are given as in physics as qualitative definitions and quantitative definitions. The qualitative definitions are called dimensions, and quantitative definitions are called units. In physics today, of course, if you really look, we need to have first the definition of time, because time is does not need any other definition to except that of counting. Now, having defined time, then we say the distance traveled in so many seconds is what is called a meter. And mass is defined in terms of the acceleration it will be subjected to when a force acts on it. So to measure acceleration, we need both time and length. So the unit of mass is valid only after the definition of time unit and length unit. Now, having said this, one more thing you should understand clearly about science is, science has nothing to do with reality. Whole of science is absolutely abstract. And abstract does not mean anything vague. Abstract means ideas which can exist only in the mind. Let me make this clear. For instance, if I say take a 1 meter long rod, in reality this does not exist. So we will take a 1 meter rod with an error of say 0.001 meter, or with some tolerance only we will be able to finally have a rod of 1 meter length. So to that extent, you should know that science is abstract. They really do not, they relate to things in reality, but they are not exactly what exists in reality. I'll take up just one more example so that you understand that the whole of science is like that only. We normally easily say a force acting at a point. The number 1 is the point itself is a 0 dimension thing. So we can only imagine, we have no idea what a point of 0 dimension is. Number 2, the force acting at a point involves that the stress developed will be infinity, because stress is force by area on which the force acts divided by the area. Here is 0, so the stress becomes infinity. That means it will just pierce through the point and go away. But in reality, it will always act over a large area, and then we find out the center of pressure that force is acting, and that center at which it acts we will take as a the point. So it is not just arbitrary. We decide that the center point is what is chosen, and then that can be taken as the point at which all the forces act and so on. Similarly, we have center of gravity. We imagine that the mass is there over a large volume, but the total the weight of the mass will act at the center of gravity. So that point is what will represent the mass when we study the motion of the mass and so on. So what I'm trying to say is when you learn science, these concepts become very relevant. Only with that understanding we can always talk about science with confidence.